What's up people, it's Victor Brian here from Napster Films, and today guys I'm going to be doing this effect. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment on these videos, and remember it's in this channel that I'll be dropping weekly tutorials on how to do stuff inside Davinci Resolve.
So let me just get started. Right away I'm going to go under effects library, and I'm going to go under effects, and I'm going to bring a new fusion composition in here. Right away I'm going to click it. Let me just close the effects library for a second. So right away after I select my fusion composition, I'm going to go under the fusion tab, which actually is this one. So right after it loads, you see we have our media out node here. So right away I'm going to bring the background node, and I'm going to hit 2 on my keyboard, and so that I can bring it in this viewer 2. So right away I'm going to rename this. I'm going to click F2, and I'm going to call this yellow background, yellow bg b.g, and hit enter. And as we all know, National Geographic use like a yellowish color. Let me just use the light yellow, which is actually this one. So right away guys, I'm going to select the background, so which actually is highlighted red here, and I'm going to bring a rectangle node, which actually is this one, and I'm going to press F2, and I'm going to call this outer rec, and I'm going to hit enter. So I'm going to select my rectangle, and I'm going to go under the size, so I'm going to increase the height to a point like so, and I'm going to reduce the width. So I'm going to reduce it, and that is too small. Let me just increase it a little bit. That is too big. Like, let's say that size. And with my rectangle node selected, I'm going to bring another rectangle node, which actually is this one. So I'm going to hit it again, and you see we have another rectangle node. What you're going to do, I'm going to press F2 with this rectangle node selected, and I'm going to call this inner rec and hit enter. So I'm renaming these things because I don't want to get confused. So right away I'm going to come in here and adjust the size. Okay, let me just make it like so. So I'm going to go back to the outer rectangle, and I'm going to reduce it like a little bit. I'm going to reduce the width. So I'm going to click the inner rectangle, and I'm going to go under the inspector. If your inspector is not activated, you're going to click here. So right away I'm going to go under the paint node, which actually is here, and I'm going to subtract. I'm going to press subtract. So right away you see the inner of this circle has become transparent. So we are subtracting it so that we can have the outer rectangle. So I'm going to go to the outer rectangle, select the outer rectangle again, and I don't like the height, so I'm going to reduce the height a little bit like so. So that is satisfying. So I'm going to add another transform node. Now I'm going to add the transform node, which actually is this one. So right after I add the transform node, I'm going to place it below here, and I'm going to highlight all these and move them aside. So I'm going to bring a text node and I'm going to place it under view 1. So I'm going to go under the inspector and I'm going to write, let's just say, let's call this national, enter geographic. Sorry, I missed something here. So, and you know guys, the National Geographic has a habit of using the same text color as the background, so I'm going to, as the rectangle, so I'm going to go under the color, and instead of just guessing the color or trying to find it, I'm going to pick here, pick the screen color. So I'm going to go under the yellow background, I'm going to select it and I'm going to press OK. And right away we see our text here in view 1. It has the same color as the rectangle that we created a while. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring a merge node in here. So I'm going to go under the transform node, I'm going to pipe the transform node into the merge node, which actually this is going to be the background, and I'm going to bring the text node in here and I'm going to press 2 on my keyboard so that you can see everything under one viewer. So right away I'm going to bring a transform node into the text. Now the text has its own transform node, and I'm going to move this text to this side. And what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm going to go onto the from 0, and I'm going to select my transform one, which actually is the one that has all the rectangle, and I'm going to make a keyframe at the size, and I'm going to go at from 40, sorry, and I'm going to reduce the size. Let me just reduce to something like that. Now, so let me just pipe in this transform here for a second, and let me just select the text, and let me just bring it. So you can see the geographic is not aligned to the national. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the inspector where I wrote my text, and I'm going to space this out until they align like so. So I'm going to carry all this text in here to this position. Now, so I'm going to go back to my text node, and I'm going to select the transform of my text. So I'm going to go to frame 60, and under the positioning, which actually of the transform, which actually is this text here, I'm going to set a keyframe here, and I'm going to go back to frame 40, and I'm going to bring the text to this other side like so. So we have the text coming in like so. So I'm going to go to my merge node in here, and I'm going to add another transform node. So, and I'm going to press 2 on my keyboard so that I can see everything. So right at frame 60 where the animation stops, I'm going to press a keyframe under positioning, which actually is here, and I'm going to go to, let's say, frame 90, and I'm going to go to the center position X, and I'm going to move them to my left. To that, let's just say this is where we want the animation to end, and I'm going to take this transform node and I'm going to pipe it into the media out, and I'm going to press 2 on my keyboard. I'm going to select and I'm going to press it. So let's just watch the whole thing. So we have it coming in, and once the text just comes in, it pushes it to the other side, which actually is what the National Geographic does. So I'm going to go onto the spline tool here to smooth things out. So I'm going to use the transform 1. So I'm going to select all these, I'm going to highlight all these, and I'm going to press S on my keyboard to smoothen them out. And I'm also going to uncheck this. I'm going to select the transform 2, just bring this to the side like so, and I'm going to highlight all these, and I'm going to press S to smoothen them out, and I'm going to uncheck this, and I'm going to go under the transform node 3, and I'm going to fit it, and I'm going to select it. What is this one? Let me just uncheck this for a minute, the transform 2. I'm going to select all these, I'm going to press S to smoothen them out, and I'm going to close the spline tool, and right here I'm going to close the media pool, and I'm going to the inspector tool, sorry, and this is what we have. Everything comes smoothly, then it just goes to the side. So I'm going to go back to the edit tab, and right away this is what we have, guys. This is how National Geographic did it, and it's a really simple thing that you can construct inside Davinci. So that's it, guys, for today.
Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment in these videos, and remember, it's in this channel that I will be dropping weekly tutorials on how to do stuff inside Davinci Resolve.